championship game 3 straight seasons in the other league. And of course, there's Bill Walsh. He has 2 Super Bowl trophies to speak of, 16 and 19, and one of the great coaches not only in collegiate football but in professional football. And don't forget, on the 4th game of last season, the Saints came in here. They weren't supposed to win. They only won 5 games. They beat the 49ers 20-17. Montana's aerial offense, only 81 yards, 6 sacks, so it's possible. And to start this game off on this natural turf here, where the baseball diamond still leads us, Morton Anderson, the great kicker, perhaps the best kicker in all of football. And Derek Harmon will be the kickoff run back for San Francisco.
No run back on that one, Tommy. Put it right out of the back of the end zone.
Jeff Kemp, the young quarterback obtained from the Los Angeles Rams in the offseason, comes on. He had a good passing day against Los Angeles after the early interceptions. He's not real tall. He's got great feet. He's got a strong arm, and he's very bright. Against this defense, Bruce Clark, good one. Tony Elliott plays off the nose a long way, and Jimmy Wilkes up front. Ricky Jackson, Glenn Red, Tolles, and Haynes, maybe they're just average there. We'll see. And the secondary, Waymer and Poe, and Gary and Watler. That's a good secondary. It's Harmon getting the first call, and as Bill Walsh told us, they must rush the football, and anybody that wins football games does rush it well. There's Kemp. Derek Harmon is in now, as of course the real good back picked up in the offseason, Cribbs, is hurt and will not play. Roger Craig, Dwight Clark, Bubba Paris, Ayers, Quillen, Cross, Fonhorst, a great offensive line, and Russ Francis is playing an all-pro status at tight end. Here's Kemp's second play, 2nd down and 6. Roger Craig cuts back, waits for the block, gets out almost to the 30-yard line. Flags are down on the 25. That's Bob McElwee, and I'm sure we'll hear a lot from the Zebras today.
Bill's plan is to run the ball the first 6 snaps of the game, trying to make 2 first downs running initially, and then let Kemp settle in, mix in the passing game, and see if they can't get on the board that first time, but not go right after him with a passing game. Now, this penalty changes your mind quickly.
Obviously, 2 quick substitutes come in for the 49ers. Quillen was holding. We didn't think that he would be played that tough by Elliott. Darn near every one of the offensive linemen for San Francisco has been in the Pro Bowl game. They're quality.
They are quality people. Some people say they're getting a little old, but they really should be about at the prime of their careers. 2nd
down and 16. Kemp, the toss, back to Harmon. Harmon breaks 1 tackle. He's knocked out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Good defense by New Orleans. The flag is down now on the 24-yard line of San Francisco. Harmon gets up limping just a bit.
Personal foul, late hit, unnecessary roughness, number 99.
Number 99, unnecessary roughness.
Number 99,
Elliott.
He's a big guy. If he hit you later, it hurt. He weighs 285 pounds. Take a look at it. 99 to the left side of your screen, working inside out. There he goes. He's getting knocked out of bounds. Little Harmon, then a late hit. Oh, I don't know how late it was, Tom. I had a bad angle on it.
Well, makes it a first down stick move, but it's really a bad penalty when you play defense for 2 or 3 plays very well.
Plus, it allows them to stay where they're playing to keep running the football.
Jimmy Mora, the first-year coach. 1st and 10. Quick draw, misdirection, smothered in the backfield. Derek Harmon took about 1 step after the handoff on the late call, and Wilkes was right on his back.
Wilkes went right underneath in an inside slant charge on Bubba Paris, and they got him before the play really got started. Harmon didn't have a chance.
Now, Joe Cribbs, the fellow that started, of course, the great running back out of Auburn, not only has a hip pointer, but now he injured his calf earlier in the week, and he just is going to be missed because he is the breakaway explosive runner they need. 3rd down and 9. Pardon me, make that 2nd down and 11. Clark on the crackback block. This is Craig getting outside. He's thrown for a loss of a yard by Tolles, Alvin Tolles.
You can see that Bill staying with his initial thoughts, going right down his 25 play card, Tom, and picking out the runs as he had them programmed all week in practice.
Flag is down back on the San Francisco 25-yard line. Clark was detected for holding penalty declined. Will be bring up 3rd down now and 12 as multiple substitutions take place. I'll tell you one thing, the New Orleans defense looks like they've come to really play a football game. They're coming hard. A down 4 rush by New Orleans. 3rd down and 12. Kemp. His pass arm is hit, and it's underthrown, almost intercepted in midfield, and another flag is down. Gathers and Warren came together and reduced that pocket.
Offense, penalties decline, 4th down.
Fonhorst was detected for holding. It looks to me like the Saints defense put a lot of pressure on him.
They did. They had good heat on him, Tom, and as the fans saw, James Gathers, number 97, along with Frank Warren, 73, got in there, actually hit his arm as he threw the football.
Probably lucky it wasn't picked off. Runager is kicking. He doesn't have that real deep, long, booming kick, but he's a great kicker, and you're into the territory. Eric Martin is waiting now. Martin at the 15 for New Orleans. Changes his field, gets up to almost the 25-yard line. Good return by the very fine receiver for New Orleans, Eric Martin.
I expected to see Mel Gray back there because Jim Mora told us last night in a meeting that he was going to go with Mel Gray in punt returns, and Mel Gray had never returned a punt in his career, and he wasn't in there. Maybe he's got a little concerned right before he sent him on the field. Huh?
Coaches do change their minds a little bit, huh? Bobby Hebert just came in. You saw him, the young man from down in Louisiana. He'll be facing this defense. It is very sophisticated. Hardy, Michael Carter, and Larry Roberts, the rookie starting at defensive end. McCall, Ellison, Fonhorst, and Turner, and we'll set that secondary in a minute. McKyer and Griffin are rookies. Williamson and Ronnie Lott are darn near all pros every year. 1st and 10 for New Orleans. The toss back to the rookie Hilliard. The LSU running back loses a couple of yards. McCall quickly up on defense along with Michael Carter. Bobby Hebert looks like he's falling into the NFL groove now. Hilliard and Jordan. Goodlow and Eric Martin. Martin having a tremendous time against Green Bay a week ago. Dombrowski, Edelman, Court, Williams, Brock, and Brenner. When they're healthy, that's a good offensive line. 2nd down and 10. No gain on the last play. Numbers on Bobby Hebert, USFL player that's learning the pattern of NFL football. His arm is hit. Let's see if they call it a fumble or a pass. Fumble. Was the arm coming forward?
Tom, from up here, it looked like the arm was going forward, but Haley, number 94, I think, came in off the side and picked him up. You'll see Haley coming in now, I think, from the left side here, number 94 to the left side of your screen. Here he comes underneath there, hits him right there. I think good call by the official. The arm really hadn't started going forward. He had it all the way extended back, Tom.
Haley's the rookie obtained in one of the draft choices they got for Jeff Kemp.
There's another good look at it. It was obvious. He got after him.
Big turnover, and this is the way San Francisco plays their football. They get all cylinders going. The toss back to Craig. What good defense by New Orleans. I mean, they are breaking blocks to get there and really swarming. Looks to me like Kemp is going to have to start doing some play action, passing.
Inside the 20-yard line, Bill Walsh always in the past has liked to use corner-type patterns with delay patterns underneath and get those guys in the back of the end zones.
That was James Haynes making the stop. He had the interception for a touchdown against Green Bay a week ago. Natural turf here at Candlestick Park. We'll talk about that as the game progresses. 2nd down 10, facing Kemp. Kemp trying to run a sprint out and is thrown for a big loss and unloads it. Let's go for an NFL update. Brent?
Well, Brookie, I'll tell you, there's no quit in the Atlanta Falcons. Again, they have closed in at the Dallas Cowboys with just about 3 minutes to go. Gerald Riggs scores. They add the extra point. They trail it by 1 right now. They got a shot. Let's go back to Brookie and Dick Vermiel.
Okay, Brent. Well, there's no doubt that Gerald Riggs can run it, and I think Marion Campbell has turned that defense around down there. Atlanta is going to be a force in this division where New Orleans and San Francisco play.
Bill Walsh said he was concerned about that as soon as they hired Marion.
11:08 left here in the first period, no score, and this is 3rd and 10. Kemp on a straight drop back. He's got time this time. And underthrows badly. Jerry, I think looked like Jerry Rice was down in that corner, and it was underthrown by 10 yards. Waymer was in good position defensively.
Actually, I think he was trying to throw a crossing pattern, and he threw it way out in front of the crossing man. Therefore, it looked like he underthrew the receiver downfield, Tom. Here's the new coach, Jim Mora.
We talked to him yesterday, and he says he's got to be careful now as the head coach. Every quote is put in chisel in stone by somebody, and you know, Coach, as a head man, you got to be careful, don't you?
Some of us do.
Ray Worthington to kick now. Not off to his greatest kicking year. This will be a 30-yarder. Well, this one was solid, straight. And the Warriors has scored. San Francisco taking advantage of that fumble. Leads 3-0. Jim Mora, of course, in the championship game in the USFL 3 times. He took over a team that won only 5 and lost 11. The average age on his squad is a little over 25 years, so he can mold them, and that's what this young coach is going to do.
He'll do a good job with him. He's one of the class guys I've ever had the opportunity to work with in my coaching career.
You worked with him a lot. You were on the staff. You and
Stanford together, then we were together at UCLA.
Urging to kick off, young Mel Gray, number 37, back, a speedster. This will be Gray at the 1. He can burn.
He's got a hold. Oh.
Closed up at the 22-yard line as the 49ers special teams come down. Ron Ferrari, who's been doing that for about 5 seasons, well.
He does a great job of covering kicks, covering punts, and he's been playing a little bit more in the nickel defense now.
Wilson comes on, number 18 now, to replace Hebert, who's going in to have some minor injury looked at. We don't know what the x-rays, what part of the body they are, the anatomy of the injury, but Wilson, of course, is number 18, 5-year veteran. Hilliard gets outside from LSU. Look out. Hilliard inside the San Francisco 40, and they're going to mark it at the 42-yard line. The call barely tripped him up.
That's the longest run he's made in his short career. Now see the fullback, number 40, left center of your screen. He's going to run off tackle to the right. Defense is shifting. He gets a nice block right at the point of attack by Brad Edelman there. Gets a nice block right there by Griffin. Here he goes. Poor tackling right there out of the secondary by Ronnie Lott, which you don't see him do that very often.
And Hilliard is 5'8", 204 pounds, so he can get under you, and he certainly did a good job. 36-yard burst. The misdirection handoff. Reuben Mays now is in. He's another rookie, a very fine running back out of Washington State, number 36. Looks like the Saints have a pretty good game plan.
They do, Tom, and if I may be wrong, but it looked like to me on the replay that they were unbalanced line that last night.
We've been looking for the 49ers to perhaps do that. They showed that against the Los Angeles Rams on the tapes that we looked at. Illegal procedure against New Orleans. Young teams do make mistakes.
This offensive line, especially on the left side, is a big physical offensive line and a quality one. Brad Edelman's had a hard time, Tom, injury-wise with knee injuries.
Eligible number covered on the end of the line. Still first down.
They might have been in that same formation the last snap, didn't call it. It looked different.
Dombrowski, the #1 draft for New Orleans that Jimmy Finks and company signed, is the big left tackle. He's 298 pounds, 6'5".
And growing.
His signing bonus was $650,000. That's before they got him to autograph the contract. So he's going to be a very rich big tackle.
You know, the other thing about this guy, he has a degree in biology. He's going to be an orthopedic surgeon. He's an academic All-American. He doesn't have much going for him.
That's right. Rich and bright.
Yeah, rich and bright.
1st and 15 following the illegal procedure. Call. Reuben Mays and Buford Jordan are the backs. Sort of an offset eye. Wilson is the quarterback. Inside play, and Jordan picks up 3 or 4 yards to the 42. Let's go to New York City and an NFL update.
Well, Brookie, getting you up to date now in the Dallas situation. The Cowboys coming out. Danny White dumping it off to Tony Dorsett, who makes a spectacular run, but he is injured on the play. Walks off the field. Herschel Walker comes in, gets the first down. Cowboys still bringing that clock down toward the 2-minute warning, and they have moved near midfield. Let's go back to Brookie and Dick.
Tough ball game. I think we're going to go down to week 16 and not really know. Wilson's first pass, a screen pass out in the flat. He has to throw it too hard. A big rush by Carter from the nose, and Wilson just had to speed up the screen pass. Turner was in his face too.
The 49ers were in their version of the Bear 46 defense that time, Tom, and New Orleans didn't handle it very well.
Again, we tried to tell you the 49er players are not only deep on defense, but they're also very sophisticated, and they can show you a lot of different ways.
They have 8 defensive linemen on the roster right now, so they can rotate people in there and keep them fresh and get after that quarterback.
They've got an injured reserve list that looks like a championship team. 3rd down and 11. Dave Wilson, the quarterback. Hebert is in getting something x-rayed. Wilson is rushed, almost has it intercepted. Torrey Nixon had the best shot at it, but Wilson wasn't within 30 yards of any receiver with that one.
You know, that was Charles Haley again. We've already mentioned his name. They're really putting the heat. You know, here he is, 6'5", 230, listed as a linebacker, and he's rushing and getting great heat on the quarterback.
Somebody said that Haley's got one leg shorter than the other.
Yeah, he said, don't think he's injured when he limps a little bit. He's not. That's just the way he is.
Boy, he got a sack against the Rams and got one already today, forcing a fumble. Griffin now. Brian Hansen will kick to Griffin, the rookie for San Francisco. Good-looking young cornerback. He was absolutely fearless. Hansen's a very fine kicker. Into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20, a 43-yard punt. But the 49ers will have it on the 20. And the crowd, yeah, they like that. 9:14 left in this first period at Candlestick. San Francisco with a 30-yard field goal by Wershing after a fumble by Hebert. Hebert, by the way, is in getting his right foot x-rayed, and Wilson is the quarterback. What's the ready list? What is that ready list package he has in his hand there, the coach?
Well, he has 2, normally the full game plan, then a 26-play sequence, and he takes the play off. For example, here, fans, the left-hand side, 26 plays. He goes right down there. If the down and distance stays in a normal situation, and he doesn't lose it down in terms of long yardage and that, he'll stay with that routine.
That's last week's ready list. You're not seeing the one they're using now, and the one they're using right now hasn't done much. The Saints have been all over him. Kemp is 0 for 3 passing. He's going back for his 4th. The flags are down. Complete. That's Dwight Clark making the catch, but the flag was down early. It's enough for a first down if it holds. There have been a lot of penalties already. In fact, there's been very few plays without a penalty.
Number 86, offense. Still first.
Number 86 jumped. That's John Frank, who was in for Russ Francis at tight end.
The 49ers come into the game with averaging 6 penalties a game the first 2 games of the year, Tom. That's 13th in the National Football League, so they've been penalized a little bit.
And it's cost them. First and 15 right now.
This is what fouls up that game card.
Kemp back for his 5th attempt. He completes it to Craig. Out over the 25, and the flags are down again. The San Francisco 22. Temporarily, it's going to be against the Saints, we're told.
It looks like defensive pushing, huh?
Jeff Kemp, the Ivy Leaguer from Dartmouth, is helping make the decision for McElroy.
That's part of the advantage of going to the Ivy League.
You know how to debate.
No, you can be a lot brighter than officials.
Oh,
ooh,
I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
No, just
illegal
teasing.
use of the hands. Number 44 defense, 5 yards, automatic first down.
That was David Waymer working on Jerry Rice. David Waymer, stockbroker in the offseason. Stock just went down. There he is in the middle of the screen. He's going to jam him right there. Now he's got to release him. He's got to release. He's got his hands on him beyond 5 yards. They're going to call it, Tom.
Waymer, by the way, is the 3rd quarterback. Should something happen to... No, not Waymer. It's Watlett that is, huh?
Yeah.
Waymer just as worried about the cornerback right now. Yeah. And his stocks and bonds.
If he'd have heard that, he might have dropped dead right out there.
1st and 10. with 8:47 left in the first. It's back now to the 20-yard line. Now the officials are arguing with one another.
We better get Kemp back out there to talk to those guys. They need some help.
The 49ers are in their huddle, and of course the Saints on defense are around the zebras.
Seattle beat New England. That's a big win.
3-0.
Now I see it this way. How do you see it?
I think they ought to do this at the town meeting of the air and not on Sunday afternoons.
Now Jim Mora, he's
what kind of a sidelines coach is he? Have you watched him?
Yes,
Dick?
I watched him with the Stars many times. He's a very calm guy, always in charge. He does get upset, but he has great ability not to show it unless he's home, and then he might get upset at Connie once in a while.
You said he was very good with people, and that's probably the first thing a coach has to be, is working with people. Huh?
Fine leader, really a fine leader. All right.
Illegal use of hands. Penalty will be declined. It will be 2nd and 5.
2nd down and 5. Penalty decline.
Because they had 1st and 15. They get a 5-yard penalty. They had 1st and 10. They want 2nd and 5, right?
They want to burn the down rather than the yardage.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
I'm not so sure about that call, but we'll see what happens from it. 2nd down and 5 now.
Here's the unbalanced line.
Unbalanced line for San Francisco.
That's not a legal formation right now.
And the left tackle jumped up there. It looked like Paris, number 77.
It's not a legal formation, Tom. One of the receivers is lined up wrong.
False start, 77 offense.
You can see the false start on the right side of your screen, but really there was confusion prior to that. There's Bubba Paris, number 77. See the false start, but there were 2 receivers lined up improperly. There were 5 guys in the backfield.
So it was an illegal formation. That one was not detected by the officials, or we had some more flags. 2nd down and 10. If you're charting this game, you're going absolutely out of your mind. Kemp, a lot of time, complete to the 25, to the 30, to the 33. Jerry Rice to the 35-yard line. That looked like 49er football.
Run him in motion, bring him across, work him up inside there, clear out the zones, lay off the football. High percentage throw. Here is Rice to the left side of your screen. Now watch him work up inside, let people clear. See the people clearing. Now he works in that zone. You can tell it's zone coverage, fans, because there's no one tight on him, and everybody else is just dropping back in their areas.
Walsh said about Jerry Rice, he's the best I have ever seen. Goes to the ball strong, great blocker, great hands. Man, from Walsh, that's from the top. 1st and 10. Misdirection, play action pass. Going for it all and overthrowing Rice and the defender. Johnny Pohl was covering Jerry Rice step for step.
Kemp got knocked down too. Bruce Clark got good pressure on him, and Bruce Clark, number 75, playing defensive left end for the Saints, is one of the better defensive ends in football, has been in the Pro Bowl. Now you can see Kemp getting there. He sets up nicely, lets it go, and wham, there comes Jackson and Clark right there, 57 and 75. The life of a quarterback.
Is there a tendency for a young quarterback to get pumped up and overthrow for a while to make sure you're not intercepted?
Oh, I'm sure that can happen, Tom. This guy has the strong arm. He can overthrow anybody.
Kemp is 2 of 6 for 25 yards. 2nd down and 10. Straight drop back. Screen across the middle. Craig is nailed at the 35. No gain and a headache.
That is a check down. Let the people go. They expected a loose zone. They didn't get a loose zone. Good defensive call.
Wilkes and Watlett in on that stop. It looked like they were waiting for it. The Saints are very well prepared defensively.
They're doing a good job.
3rd down and 10. The one thing that against the Rams that the 49ers didn't do very well was convert 3rd downs. They were only 2 of 11, so let's see if they're any better today. 3rd down and 10 facing Kemp. He's in the shotgun. Throws it off balance and complete to still on his feet. Dwight Clark is stopped. at the 46-yard line. Let's go to New York in an update.
Well, Brookie, the drama in Dallas with time running out. Down toward a minute. It was David Archer back. Watch Floyd Dixon, the receiver, concentrate on this ball. He's bumped, off balance. He's got it. He gets up, and he almost scores a touchdown. Then, 3 plays later, Mick Luckers kicks the field goal, and the Falcons, with 20 seconds to go, lead 37-35 back to Brookie.
37-35. Atlanta beats Dallas. 29-yard reception. Clark. This is Craig cutting back inside, playing the run very well. The Saints on defense out of that 34. We watched the tapes of the Saints against Green Bay, and we thought they played a little soft on the line of scrimmage. Today, they look like they're almost pressing the line.
Well, the 49ers have been running laterally. You know, and I think when they get going straight upfield just a little bit more, very close to that kind of play, they'll pop a few in there. But the Saints are bound to improve each week in the new program.
2nd and 7.
Second down and 7. Sellout crowd in the sunshine. They're right about second base. Kemp got a completion inside the 25. Jerry Rice. And Johnny Poe was all over him and just couldn't keep him from catching him. Look at this crowd.
Where are we? Right here, Brent.
We're notified Bobby Hebert has a fractured bone in his right foot. He will not return. And we'll let you know how serious it is. Wilson is the quarterback all the way. Right now, the 49ers have a drive going. They lead 3-0. On first down, it's Derek Harmon straight ahead.
Illegal motion by a running back. Concentration really isn't good enough right now for the 49ers. If they're going to keep stopping themselves, it's going to be a tight ball game all the way.
And number 28, Joe Cribbs, is not in the lineup. And what we observed watching against the Rams, he looks like the outside player that Wendell Tyler, of course, was with this team. Roger Craig was detected and he was declined. There's Bobby Hebert. Boy, he would have sat with us for 3 hours. He sat and talked to us. He was a defensive back in high school, and they made him a quarterback and won the state championship.
Yeah, senior year. The funny thing I liked, he said when they went and played the city slicker schools, you know, he's a Cajun. They used to use French audibles.
They probably use those in France, too. Second down 8. Kemp almost intercepted. Waymer came on the run, intended, I believe, for Russ Francis.
Roughing the passer, number 20 defense.
You heard the call, roughing number 9, 20, roughing 9.
They're trading, making mistakes.
Personal foul.
Russell Gary. Probably did not do it intentionally, but with the intensity flying in there, arms wailing around, inadvertently hit him on the head. Let's see if we can take a look at it here. From the left of your screen, you see right there Ricky Jackson. Now the quarterback, there he goes. Yeah, hand to the head. He gets up there very high, try to block the pass, comes down on the helmet, penalty.
Especially when we got Hogan Boom and Montana, and people of that quality not playing right now. Now Hebert's out with a broken foot. You do have to protect the quarterback. Kemp back. He's trying to screen it to the left. He has it set up. This is Craig. Craig gets back in, and the Saints recover and nail him at the 15-yard line. Pretty good recovery by New Orleans. Make that the 5-yard line. Haynes and Elliott somehow came back and tackled, and Craig looked like he had more room to run than he did.
You get one good block downfield, but then the defense rallied. And down there, Tom, and then inside the 20-yard line, inside the 10, the defense doesn't drop deep, even if they're in a zone. They don't have to drop as deep, so if something happens in front of them, they can get up there and attack that type of play.
Keep in mind that Atlanta beat New Orleans 31-10. Today they beat the Cowboys, so rough indeed. Second down 4. Ball's on the 5. Derek Harmon. A yard. Swarming New Orleans defense.
You know, the 49ers cannot allow the Saints to gain confidence as the ball game goes in their new program. Once you start believing you can win and you can shut down the best, which the 49ers have been, you start playing better than you really are sometimes, and your program matures much quicker.
3rd down and 3. The ball is on the 4. Kemp spinning outside. Touchdown. Dwight Clark's first touchdown reception of the year.
He's had a number of them. He averages 1 touchdown every 11th reception in his career. Coming from the end zone, you'll note a little play-action fake. Now watch the nimbleness of the quarterback. He gets outside. Clark is trying to contain him, number 75. One-on-one coverage. Dwight Clark right there on Waymer. Touchdown. Well-executed play.
And Kemp had the quick feet. We've been sort of telling you that. He's very quick getting out of that pocket and getting extra time. Werge's extra point is good. Here's the reaction of the quarterback. It's 10-0 San Francisco.
Number 1 ranked Oklahoma has a devastating defense. Number 2 ranked Miami fields a defense-defying aerial attack. The 2 top teams in the nation next Saturday on CBS Sports.
From Brookshier and Dick Vermiel, Candlestick Park. Yes, it's a gorgeous afternoon for football. 10-0. A 30-yard field goal by Werge and a 4-yard TD pass from Kemp to Dwight Clark. And even though it's been hard to get the offense started, somehow the 49ers lead by 10 points. A short kickoff. Mays at the 10-yard line. Ruben Mays can run. He's got great speed. That's Mel Gray, pardon me. Mel Gray is finally tackled at the 28-yard line. There's the young man we were touted.
He came into the game averaging 26 yards a return, 5th in the NFL. Now watch Mel Gray, number 37. He tucks the ball under nicely. Is he working upfield? He looks for the hole. There it is. Good blocking. He makes a cut to the left. Now it's a foot race. Now it's a foot race. And I guarantee you, Wershing isn't going to catch him, the kicker. Here comes Donnie Griffin up at 29, the rookie. He has good speed. Gets him down.
A 64-yard return. And the Saints are not going to just walk out of here and say these guys are great players and we're going to fold it up. We welcome you. They've been watching the great Atlanta victory over the Dallas Cowboys. Here we have a 10-0 San Francisco lead. But I'll tell you one thing, the Saints are hot. Wilson rolling to his right, complete to Brenner inside the 20-yard. I fumbled away. Let's see. There's a pile of players at the 7-yard line. The tight end caught the ball. Wilson half rolled to his right.
Boy, I'll tell you, Ronnie Lott gave him a real shot. But Hobie Brenner, number 85, is so big. Now you'll see Hobie Brenner crossing in the middle of your screen. There he goes. Now Lott, 42, comes up and gives him a heck of a shot. But Brenner, being as big as he is at 245 pounds, absorbs some of that shot.
He was down. There you see Ronnie Lott, who loves playing that safety where he can run and hit people on both sides of the field. 16-yard reception. Wilson to Brenner. That was only the 7th offensive play that the Saints have run. Misdirection handoff to Hilliard. Maybe a yard or so at the right side. Hardy in on the tackle along with Turner.
You know, yesterday when we went over to see the Saints, I passed in the hallway Dave Wilson. I said, Dave, how's this going? He says, Coach, I'm just sitting waiting for my chance. I don't think he expected to get it in the first quarter today.
Wilson, of course, started a few games a couple of years ago for Bum Phillips. And there's the starter right there, Bobby Hebert, who has a fractured right foot. We don't know if it's a small bone or a large one. He got it early in the first quarter. Wilson's gone most of the way. It's now 2nd down and 11, a loss of 1 on that last play for Hilliard. It's the fade pattern, overthrowing the receiver, number 84. Eric Martin was the intended receiver. McKyer, the rookie for the 49ers, was right there. Those 2 young cornerbacks for San Francisco are not being treated like rookies, you know it? Ronnie Lott says, are you kidding? They're going to play like grown men. This is a tough league.
I talked to George Seifert, the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, and I asked him if he called defenses based on having 2 young players back there, and he says, Coach, I call them as if they've been in the league for 10 years. Don't even worry about it.
And if they reacted well to it, the Ram receivers were having a lot of trouble with the young San Francisco corners. 3rd down 11. Wilson being chased, and he's sacked by number 94. That's Haley. That's the 3rd sack that young Charlie Haley has today already.
94, the right side of your screen. Here he comes, working upfield right there. Actually, a receiver came across and got in the way of the offensive tackle and did not allow Dombrowski, 72, to swing out and pick him up. That was a gift sack. Bad execution offensively.
The 4th-round draft choice, and they got him as one of the draft choice exchanges in the Jeff Kemp deal with the Los Angeles Rams. What a find he is.
40th.
Morton Anderson. Hanson, the punter, is holding.
He doesn't miss many.
A 44-yard attempt by the left-footed one. He sure doesn't. Consider it good.
He is really something. He might be the best offensive weapon they have in New Orleans. That guy is really a great kicker.
And Jimmy Mora breathes again. It's San Francisco 10-3. Eric Martin had a 69-yard kickoff return last year against Kansas City, but the 64-yarder by young Mel Gray certainly got the Saints in position to get that 3-pointer. You can see Anderson now teeing it up. Tony Cherry, number 23, the rookie, who's only about 5'7", is in there, waiting to run this back. We're dying to see this young man explode with it. Here's Morton Anderson's kickoff, and he does drive him deep. Carl Monroe, 5 yards deep, and he comes out with it. Oof. And rolls out of it and gets to the 15. Good running, but a dangerous run back. Sam Mills is down, one of the USFL players for the Saints. That's a real good tackler.
He's only 5'9". They list him at 5'9". He may not even be that. He played real good football for the Stars in the USFL and was an all-pro in that league. And Jim said last night, you know, the guy's short, but he's a player.
Well, you know, sometimes shortness in certain areas is not bad. And if you can load people up and they're up higher than you are as a tackler, you can really drive them off their feet. And Mills is very good at that. 49ers closing seconds of this first quarter, a 10-0 lead, and you're looking at the new starter, Jeff Kent. Joe Montana is in the hospital and recovering from surgery and watching the contest. Good throw and a great catch by Clark. A tight spiral that time. Clark made the diving catch, and Waymer was right there. San Francisco with the ball in the lead, 10-3. The National Football League is sponsored by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by GMAC, the financial services people from General Motors. And by Radio Shack, the computer experts. Hi, everyone. Jim Mora's team got the field goal for Morton Anderson. Now his defense is on the field. And while San Francisco has not hit on all cylinders, they've managed to get 10 points. Kemp is 8 for 12 for 85 yards and the short 4-yard touchdown pass. And Clark has 3 catches for 44. Dwight Clark, the man that nobody wanted except Bill Walsh when he went down to work out that quarterback down there, Fuller. He saw the long receiver and got him as a 10th-round draft choice. Amazing. 1st and 10. Craig gets inside, the high knee action trademark of the young man from Nebraska. Let's go to the NFL today in an update. Chris?
Now, Brookie, a little bit of everything. This is how the Dallas-Atlanta game wound up. The Cowboys' last gasp. It's complete to Tony Hill. The question is whether or not he stepped out of bounds, and Septien had an opportunity. Landry was yelling at him to get out of bounds. He tried to score. Atlanta wins the game, and now the Jets in Miami have just gone to overtime. Let's go back to Brookie.
The Jets have gone into overtime. Marino has 6 touchdown passes, and the Jets have come back to go into overtime. What a week of football. 2nd down 8. Handoff to Derek Harmon.
Real nice little play there. Russ Francis came in motion and wham blocked the defensive end, and then they kicked out, as you'll see here.
What do you mean by
left
wham
side.
block?
Well, they come from the outside in, the blind side. Now you'll see the block appear right to the left of your screen. See Russ Francis, 81, gets a nice block there. He started outside the wide receiver and came in motion and got in position to make that block.
Looked like Harmon might have run outside the hole a little bit. If you had cut it back inside, there was some room there, wasn't it?
Looked like it.
3rd down and 4. Right in the middle of the infield where the Giants of San Francisco play baseball. Craig inside. 1st down, high knee action. One of the great versatile players in all of football. He can catch it and he can run it.
His career long run is 71 yards, and it was against New Orleans. He was probably excited about playing today. But like you said a number of times already, the high knee action, he breaks out of a lot of tackles. And actually, I think he's the first player in the NFL that's been 1,000 yards of both rushing and passing in the history of the league.
Look where they spotted this ball. They put it back on the line. Yeah, he's going to be short of Craig. Can't believe it. I believe it. They're going to have to punt the football. Max Runniger will come in, kicking from a deeper position than you normally see Max kick with this San Francisco offense. He's usually kicking down in toward that end zone.
That's why he's such a great inside the 10-yard line. Drop the ball in there. One out of every 4 punts he punts drops dead inside that 20-yard line.
That's 84, Eric Martin. Very good receiver and a very fine punt back man. Let's see. This one is going to roll on the natural pass over the shoulder, and it's going to be dead at the 3-yard line, and San Francisco almost had a recovery of a muff down there. Eric Martin recovered his own muff.
Max Runniger's really excited. He ran down there. He likes to cheerlead. That's part of his personality.
See if it hits his shoulder.
Yeah, it touched his shoulder. That's a muff.
You can't advance it, but you could recover it.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like a grenade. Don't forget, next Saturday, the 2 top-ranked teams in the nation meet. Number 1, Oklahoma, led by the guy they call Boz, the linebacker, Brian Bosworth. And the number 2 Miami team is quarterbacked by, boy, is he a pro prospect, Vinny Testaverde. The 2 best teams in the country.
Miami beat them last year. You can imagine what Oklahoma's frame of mind this year.
And you know how many players Oklahoma will bring 100 guys in. That's going to be a great game right here on CBS. 1st and 10, the left guard jump. Edelman, the big fella from Missouri, looked like he came out of count early. The little things right now are killing the Saints. You know, this seems like a preseason game that we did. You know, we did 4 preseason games where we saw the flags on the turf a lot, guys, illegal procedures, and this is by both squads. Well, remember roughing the passer? Kept that last San Francisco drive alive. It was an 80-yard drive, but a lot of yellow flags were dropped. And right now, the Saints are 1st down with 11 to go, and they're almost in the end zone. Handoff is in the end zone, and that's Hilliard. Boy, that Ricky Ellison, number 50, likes to attack plays, Tom. He's really an intense guy. Sometimes the intensity works against him because he'll fire that wrong gap and give up the cutback, but he likes to get after people. I asked him the other day in the locker room, I said, did the holdout, you know, are you pleased with the results of the holdout in the training camp and all that? He says, oh, it's strictly business, coach. It all worked out fine. I'm here to play football. He's a good football player, and that defense is so sophisticated. 2nd down and 10 now. A lot of trouble now for Dave Wilson. Hebert has a broken foot and is on the sidelines with ice on it. Still handing off. That's Hilliard to the 4-yard line. Lott, Ellison, you name the 49ers. Carlton Williamson. They're trying to work the ball out and give the punter, number 1, the opportunity to have the full 15 yards from the line of scrimmage to punt the football. The Jets hang in there and beat Miami in overtime, 51-45. 2 great defensive clubs there, huh? O'Brien had 4 touchdown passes and Marino 6. And you lose? 3rd down and 8. Wilson, long calling. The draw plays free. Good call. That's Mays, Reuben Mays, knocked out at the 33-yard line. He's got great speed. The young man that has a higher average per carry in the Pac-10 than O.J. Simpson did.
You're going to see the running back sitting right there make a nice pop move right up inside the trap block. Here he goes. He's up there, clear lane. Everybody playing man-to-man nickel coverage. Therefore, once he cleared Tom, he had a lot of running room.
49ers looking for pass. Instead, they got the draw. Reuben Mays, a 28-yard blast. First down. Good-looking play. Wide pro set offense behind Wilson. First down. Going up. Open receivers. Martin. He's out of bounds. He turned out and then went up. Ronnie Lott came over to help out the young cornerback, Don Griffin.
You can see he makes a little out move. Now he's working up outside. Griffin, number 29, looks like he's playing him as if he expects help deep. He gets it, but he's out of bounds.
Holding by the big rookie, Dombrowski.
Actually, what I think pulled Don Griffin up, Tom, was the out move, which we really didn't see in the replay, and pulled him up to play that out, and then he took off and went up out the outside shoulder.
Remember, Hebert told us yesterday, he said those two corners play like veterans, but we do have to try there.
Yeah.
You don't want to go after Williamson and Ronnie Lott unless forced to. First and 20 after the holding call. What penalties will sap the life out of your offense. Drive play inside. Mays maybe to the 25-yard line. 5 for 41. San Francisco's had 3 for 20.
New Orleans came into the ball game the least penalized team in the league over 2 ball games.
Second down and 18. Home opener for the 49ers without Joe Montana. Straight drop back by Wilson. Across the middle, he's open. Brenner at the 45. Down to the San Francisco 45. Good reception by the man from USC.
Kobe Brenner will be coming off the left side of your screen in the tight end position, working down behind the zone. You'll see 50 Ricky Ellison, the left linebacker. Lott drops out of your screen. Pretty good pass rush coming from the left late right there. He throws it right down the pipe. He got in behind those linebackers. Here he is. He's a great big guy. Had 1 reception coming into the ball game. Already has 2 in this one.
And you know, Wilson had 10 starts before that elbow. He had the elbow injury last year. He looked like he really threw that one like he's relaxed now. First and 10 in San Francisco territory. Reuben Mays to the 45. Good defense there. Mays. Tina Turner making the tackle. Turner playing on a strained knee. Earl Campbell was retired by the team this year. Allowed these 2 young backs to come in along with Buford Jordan and take over the running spot.
I think the whole league misses the guys like Earl Campbell's.
Well, they're great ones. Well, running back's a tough position. Second down and 10 on the San Francisco 45. Wilson, straight drop. The hitch pattern. Edwards has it. Looks like it's almost enough. Let's see where they mark it. Don Griffin chased him out.
Wilson did a heck of a job of getting rid of this ball because he had all kinds of pressure. Now watch the pressure come from the right side of your screen, number 58. Keena Turner, look at it. No one picks him up. He unloads it before it gets there. Good job by the quarterback, Dave Wilson. Now Griffin out there one-on-one. Number 29 has to make the play. Both guys out there that time are rookies.
And you know, Edwards has sprinter speed, so the young cornerback does have to be careful with him out there. First and 10. Good-looking drive by the Saints. They're on the dirty candlestick. They're end around now. This is Edwards with the ball. Pickup of about 6 yards.
Fancy little play. Bring the slot around there. Dennis Harrison worked inside out and tripped him up as he almost hit the hole.
Edwards is he's the first NFL player from Liberty Baptist College. And of course, a lot of those people are probably watching right now. We'll bloat our network numbers, I'm sure, a lot. Just the alumni itself. Second down and 4. A pickup of 6 by the young man that's getting his chance right here in the big show. the misdirection. It's an option pass. This is Hilliard's pass, open, and it's a touchdown. Eugene Goodlow all by himself, and Ronnie Locke was the nearest defender, and he wasn't close.
They read run all the way because they blocked it just like the run, Tom. Everybody read the run because they gave him a run read. Now you're going to watch the quarterback toss the ball deep to the running back, but you're going to see lineman pull. Excuse me, not toss it, hand it up. Now you see that big fling downfield there. He didn't look like a quarterback throwing that thing, but he did a good job.
You know, he took a couple of good steps with it, though, to make it look like the run, which is probably what triggered that secondary reaction over there, which was not good for San Francisco. We've got a football game. 8:43 left before halftime. Anderson, the left footer. Uh-oh, bad snap, and somehow Anderson still hit a half wedge and got it through there. Hansen fumbled that snap.
You can see the Hilliard. Look at him throw that. That wasn't passing for him. What was this? Look at him. He's got #1 up there. #1 passer. He's 1 for 1, Tom.
A 97-yard drive and 7 points. How about that? 10-all. The young Scandinavian type, Anderson. He's also a poster boy. They sold 10,000 posters of him down there. The young eligible females think he's just about the end. Monroe waiting downfield for the kickoff from the 5. Monroe staggers, gets to the 21-yard line with a diving return. And the special teams for this New Orleans team have played very well. In fact, they were the toughest against running back kickoffs coming in, right?
They were #1 in the league coming into this ball game, only giving up 13 yards, 13.4 yards of return.
49ers got a 30-yard field goal in the first quarter and then a 4-yard touchdown pass. Since that time, the Saints have come back and gotten a pretty good 40-some-odd-yard field goal from Anderson in the last option pass that you saw, and we've got a deadlock here as Kemp is the quarterback. Tom Brookshier with Dick Vermiel at Candlestick Park. Now we have just gotten started. This one's gonna maybe go down to the wire, huh? Kemp, quick drop back and throws it. Underthrows Clark on the outside. And I'll tell you, Waymer had a pretty good eye on that. Might have been a good thing he threw it away.
He has a little sidearm delivery, Tom, and I tell you, he's going to get a lot of balls batted down, but he's also going to get some between people, I'm sure. But you can see where the ball releases his hand is a low position. Plus, he's not very tall.
And, you know, once the defense hears that a quarterback is not very tall, they put their arms up and they try to make you even shorter, don't they?
They do, but the one advantage, Walsh moves him around so much. You don't know where he's going to be coming from.
2nd down 10. Good feet. He's on the sprint out now. He's going to have a lot of time. Now he's throwing deep for Clark, who's open and just draws him out of bounds. Waymer had sort of lost it, and they looked back into the sun, right into the sun, and the ball just floated and drifted on him.
Actually, he didn't want to throw the ball down that way. He was looking back to his left, looking for a crossing pattern, couldn't find his crossing pattern, then changed his mind and went on downfield. That ball was about 55, 60 yards in the air.
Some people say that Kemp has a stronger arm than Joe Montana for throwing just the pure deep ball. Is that true?
Well, I really don't know. How strong it is and as important as how accurate it is. But he does throw the ball hard. He has a flat trajectory type pass, which sometimes is hard to vary the kind of ball you can throw.
Okay, we'll watch for that. 3rd down and 10. 49ers have leveled out a little bit. The Saints have come back. Good throw this time, zipping it inside to the 39-yard line. Mike Wilson took it on the run. Good execution.
Good quick slant. This is the kind of passing that Walsh wants to emphasize with young Kemp. Just that quick stuff, 3-step drop and let it go. You'll see Mike Wilson here in the slot formation. Here he is to the right side of your screen. See him come off, work inside right there. They're playing zone defense. Jackson, number 57, working inside out. Frank Wallet, number 48, 9 it is, comes over and gets it.
Tucked it right in there, an 18-yard reception. 49ers can do it a lot of ways. Note how that nose tackle is a yard off the center, playing defense. Inside Clark, just into New Orleans territory. Johnny Poe was hanging on.
Tom, that's that same kind of pass. They used a short play action to freeze the linebackers, and then they fired in there. And you know something? You catch too many of those, sometimes you don't finish the ball game because you really get punished when you go back inside.
A beautiful breezy afternoon. In fact, it's gusting through our press box here and blowing our valuable stats, our invaluable stats, out into the air here. Now the 49ers seem to, you can see that defensive line. Look at the nose tackle, how he's back off there, left center of your screen. Huh?
He's a yard off the ball.
Sprint out right by Kemp. Now he's being chased. Now throws it. They're going to get him for grabbing the face mask of the quarterback. Craig caught it and was hit at about the line of scrimmage. Looked like the rush man might have just caught the face mask.
Good call, Tom.
You know what amazed me? We were talking to Danny White last week, and he said he always loved the way Joe Montana.
5-yard face mask foul. Number 75 defense. Still first down. That is not an automatic first down.
It's not an automatic, and that, of course, is Clark.
Bruce Clark, Lombardi Trophy winner. Look in the middle of your screen. He's coming right in. His right hand will reach now for the quarterback. There he goes. He gets the face mask. Not a violent move right there. You've seen sometimes, Tom, where they almost tear the helmet off. That was not.
Kemp has good feet, though. He's a dancer.
Bill Walsh, excuse me, Tom. Go ahead. Bill Walsh said he'd rather have the nimble quarterback than the 6'5" guy that wasn't nimble.
Jerry Rice and Mike Wilson in there. Inside handoff out of the shotgun. Craig fooled nobody. Ball is placed on about the 45, a loss of a yard as Haynes, the linebacker, was there. I was starting to say earlier, we were talking to Danny White, and he said it was so great to always watch Montana work because he'd throw a 7 or 8 yard, 10-yard pass that became a 45-yarder. He didn't have to throw it pure 60 yards all the time.
And now Danny White is doing some of those same kind of things down there with the 49er coordinator going down there, Paul Hackett.
Of course, they lost to Atlanta Falcons today. Rice and Clark. Clark's back in there. Kemp now, he's got time. And the receiver has it out of bounds. Is he in? Yes. Eric Harmon at the 30.
Derek Harmon came out of the backfield, sitting to the left side of your screen. Quarterback will come back in a straight drop back, gets good protection. They're standing up there in front. It's picked up nicely. He has plenty of time. Little heat around the end. Here it is, way out there in the open. Beat the zone. Heading out of bounds, first down.
Another Ivy Leaguer out of Cornell and a very bright little football player. Can play a lot of different positions for you and do well at any of them. Kemp is 11 of 17 for 131 yards and the 1 touchdown. First and 10. 49ers with a little drive going here. Misdirection handoff to Craig. Good reaction by the linebackers. It's Tolles and Ricky Jackson. And it appeared they were looking for it.
They're stopping the run pretty good, Tom. It's the play action pass, the short slants, and the back out of the backfield that's been bothering them so far.
Bill Walsh told us he would love to get 200 yards rushing against the Saints so that the quarterback doesn't have to throw it more than maybe 19, 20, 21 times.
It's going to be tough to get 200 yards on these guys because they are improving each week, and they have improved over last week.
I'd say they have. Second down and 11. Pro set very wide. Now they shift. Let's see what happens. They still are in the pro set. They just exchange spots. Craig is out. Intended for Russ Francis, and he's jumped on at the 10-yard line by Tolles.
Russ Francis was going deep down the hole, and he seemed sort of enthusiastic about a little different approach to passing to the tight end this year. He said they're going to me a little deeper downfield, and I really like that. I think he pictures himself as a deep receiver.
Hey, we watched his blocking, and the last couple of weeks on tapes, we used to say films on tapes, he is one of the great blocking tight ends that I've ever watched.
Well, he did a good job. He did a real good job. A lot of good finesse blocking as well. Good athlete.
You're looking at Kemp on third down and 11. It's a 10-all tie. Being rushed. Kemp misreads and intercepted at the 25-yard line. That's Jakes in there on the nickel package for Mora. And Kemp would like to have that one back.
Mike Wilson, the receiver he threw the ball to, fell down, Tom. He didn't have a receiver once he had an opportunity to throw it. See the receiver in the middle of your screen working in a bump and run position. He works to the outside. Now see him go back underneath. He falls down, leaving the defender right there, number 22, Van Jakes, to make the interception. Sometimes the quarterback looks bad, and it isn't his fault. Now watch his reaction after he gets up.
A turnover, and the Saints Still have the tie on the scoreboard. The toss back to Hilliard. To perhaps the 33. Hilliard has that old John David Crow running style, sort of fluid like a roller skater.
And a long stride.
Yeah, long
stride.
Good, tough football player out of LSU. His running mate last year was Gary James, the young, fine player that's playing with Detroit now. So the LSU Tigers seem to have some pretty good prospects down there. Jeff Kemp, the son of, yes, the Congressman, Jackie Kemp, who played in this league and well. Second down and 6. The flags are down. Reuben Mays has the ball. A lot of running room just into San Francisco territory. It's going to be against New Orleans.
Illegal motion, number 45. 2 men moving. 2 men moving.
John Williams moved.
The trials and tribulations of the introduction of a new offensive scheme causes problems. They have to think a little bit more. Then they go up on the line of scrimmage. You're thinking about what they do. They get up there and they say, what was the snap count?
It's on what?
It's on what?
You said you used to keep the snap counts very simple just for the reason you didn't want to have that be one of the things they might do wrong all day.
You used to do that a lot, especially in college coaching. In pro football, you have to complicate a little bit because otherwise the pass rushers start teeing off on you because they get in rhythm.
Second down and 11. That was a 19-yard gain by Reuben Mays. That was wiped out. Wilson quickly unloads it, gets it out to John Williams. A good play by the quarterback as the blitz was on, and he let the linebacker come and then just dropped it over him.
Ellison made the tackle. Ball's on the 32. 3rd and 6.
3:20 before halftime.
49ers send in a new group of defensive linemen to rush the passer. With 8 linemen, as we said earlier, Tom, you can keep those guys fresh. And, you know, the offensive lineman's been out there blocking people. Here comes a guy not even perspiring. You know?
They got some good ones, too. Wilson is 4 of 8 for 60 yards in relief of Hebert with the broken foot. Straight drop back. Both backs are out. Complete. That's Jordan with it. Buford Jordan has it to the 40, call it the 46-yard line. They'll move the sticks. A 10-all tie, and the Saints want to put the best field goal kicker in the business into action, Morton Anderson, right before halftime. 14-yard gain. The 84 San Francisco 49ers lost 1 game. They were 15-1 on their way to that great Super Bowl win over Miami. Short 2 years ago. 1st and 10. I formation. The deep back is Reuben Mays.
He looks a little quicker than Dalton Hilliard. You know, you see a little more flash when he moves. A little shorter strider, a little quicker starter.
We saw him run over a couple of people against the Packers when they trapped him. He put it down and went over him.
That was late in the 4th quarter. He did a good job.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Reuben Mays now with 36 yards on 5 carries, and he had a 19-yarder called back just moments ago. The sun is right in Wilson's eyes. It's coming right off the roof's edge. The sprint out and not looking for the ball was Buford Jordan, but I don't think Wilson had much time.
They had people pulling all over back there. They had guards pulling one way, tackles pulling the other. Misdirection type play, and it actually just ended up breaking down itself. Now watch all the linemen. Just concentrate on linemen. Look at what guys pulling in a different direction. I think that was a mistake for that one right tackle going there. Now the running back, Buford Jordan, number 23, turns around. He didn't expect the ball that soon.
Well, that court and that offensive line, Williams, Brock, Edelman, Dombrowski, they're doing a pretty good blocking job down there. 3rd down and 5. 2:08 on the clock before half. Straight drop back. And he's hitting the back just as he got it off. And you know who it was? Charlie Haley, number 94.
Boy, he's been a pain in the neck for those people. He's getting after it. And they talked about him Friday on the practice field a lot, how quick this guy really is. And he is really showing this quickness. And he's been down in a three-point stance much more than he's been standing up in a two-point linebacker stance.
From James Madison, a fourth-round draft choice. Brian Hansen, one of the better punters in all of football. He'll be kicking from about his own 40, and Don Griffin is standing on the mound.
What are they doing? They're going to get caught taking a penalty here.
Worried about the inside rush to perhaps block it by the 49ers. Now Hansen has it, waits, kicks a poocher down in there. Let's see what a bounce. It's taking a New Orleans bounce inside the 10, the 5 to the 3-yard line. The 2-minute warning at the same time. A 10-all tie. 46-yard punt, no return.
He's a man called Sweetness. Over 15,000 yards, over 100 touchdowns, overwhelming. Walter Payton and the Chicago Bears battle Boomer Esiason and the Cincinnati Bengals. Or see Dan Marino take to the skies when the Miami Dolphins host the San Francisco 49ers. Sparked by the impelling Roger Craig and deep threat dynamo Jerry Rice. It all starts with the NFL Today next Sunday on CBS Sports.
.153 on the clock here at Candlestick. A 10-all tie. Timeouts, New Orleans with 3, San Francisco with 3. Of course, the ball is on the San Francisco 3-yard line. Good punt. Don't forget, coming up at half, the NFL Today, Brent, Jimmy the Greek, and the old snake man, Kenny Stabler.
He'll have something great to say.
Oh, you know he will. He'll have all the scores and highlights, too.
He'll lay a few words on them.
Especially with these quarterbacks having those 6 touchdown days. All that right here on CBS. You're looking at Jeff Kemp. He's gone all the way. Joe Montana is in the hospital watching. And Kemp is the quarterback. Play action pass from the end zone. Kemp to Francis at the 20 to the 23-yard line. Let's see if they burn one or do a hurry up. They're going to hurry up. They've got a few called in a row. Jakes was the tackler. Call it a 20-yard gain. Sometimes you go into the prevent and allow too much area in between. Craig gets out of bounds, knocked out there, really. Maybe the loss of a yard as Wayman was right there. They don't call it out of bounds. They decided to run the clock.
They didn't call that out of bounds?
Guess not. It's still clicking off.
Yeah, good job. Get the clock stopped then.
Number 1.
49ers burn their one. So they have 2 left. Wonder what you have to do to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
That was different.
10-all tie with 1:05 left before half. Timeouts left. Remember, he started 12 games for the Rams a couple of years ago and got them in the playoffs and won 9 of them. He has started some other games. 1st and 10, straight drop back. Outside to Derek Harmon. They continue to run the clock. Johnny Poe is there. About half a minute. Kemp taking his time. Remember with Wershing, they've got to get a little deeper down into territory. No, knocked away from Francis. Thought he was interfered with by Gibson.
At least it got the clock stopped anyway, Tom. But see, they're really sagging to the sidelines, not letting them get out of bounds, and they're forcing them to throw that ball down in the middle.
To give Wershing a real good chance, you've got to get it around that 30-yard line, don't you?
Yeah, you've got to get it in there because his accuracy outside the 40 really drops off. Outside the 40, he's only 56% in his career, and he's only 1 for 3 this year.
So you're talking about another 35 yards or so before number 14 will swing the magic toe. 3rd down 5. Open at the corner spot is Jerry Rice. What an athlete from Mississippi Valley State. Boy, Kemp hit him with a good shot.
Jerry Rice was on David Waymer, number 44, in a bump and run, getting help deep. Now, watch him take him to the inside here, stick that left foot, roll to the outside. Waymer's chasing him, knowing he has help deep, but they're so deep they're playing prevent. Good call, good execution.
What an athlete. Remember, he had 28 touchdowns his senior year. That was when they had that tremendous aerial display down in Mississippi Valley. Rice has 3 catches for 51 yards. The shotgun, the fake draw, and now Kemp's going across the middle and has Clark inside the 25. Now we're within field goal range, and there's the second timeout burn. Pretty good hurry-up drill.
They've done a nice job with it. Mr. Wershing, number 14, getting ready to go in the ball game.
Got him as a free agent in 1977. He had been with the Chargers. A lot of people thought he was done. He's become one of the great kickers.
He's only 63 points away from 1,000 points, Tom, and that, you know, there's only 12 guys in the National Football League that have ever done that. So he, you know, he's close to the elite group. How far is his field goal now? Looks like to be a 40-yarder.
Yeah, it's going to be right around 40, maybe 38, 39. We'll see where they'll hold it. Wershing had one blocked against the Rams, of course, and run back for 65 yards for a touchdown, but a lot of people thought it was a forward lateral a week ago. That was the only touchdown that this 49er team gave up to the Rams. Jim Mora now wondering how he can possibly help from a coaching standpoint. It's a 40-yard attempt. Wershing. Looks good, but McElway was waving his arm like trying to stop before the snap. Bob McElway sort of had a hold it look in his eye.
Timeout was called. Replay the game.
What?
What? Watch the right side of your screen for this timeout call.
They called timeout prior to the, here they is right there, the right side of your screen, down low. You'll see the guy with his hand up calling time.
Used to be the captain had to do the calling, didn't it? Now you can, everybody can
do it. It's a good point, Tom. But
and good strategy by the coach.
I don't know what's going on out there.
Let's give him credit for it anyway. So now Wershing will have to kick it again. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Well, they let him go on with the play.
I think the officials are so worried about the instant replay crew up in the booth that they forget the normal calls, the easy calls. There they are. I guess they're going to replay the timeout call.
They're talking to somebody.
I'll tell you one thing.
Coach Walsh, you know, Bill said to me, you know, if I could approach this game from a philosophical standpoint, well, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, that would be fine. But he said, God, when I lose one, I just die.
McElway's going to make Wershing kick again. The other kick, by the way, was good, but it just wasn't counted as a play. So let's call it a warm-up. A 40-yard attempt. He was good from 30 earlier. Is that calmness? Does the crowd tell you that was good?
The hard way. Kick it twice.
Are we in a timeout or are we kicking it? That's what Wershing say.
He's a little upset. Kickers don't get the opportunity to get upset very often. Now he can be mad, especially since he made it. He can really growl and yell at the special teams coach and chew on the official. He can do it all.
But it's like hitting a perfect tee shot and then making the guy hit another one.
Yeah.
Don't forget at the half, and boy, there's some crazy games going on today. You'll catch it all with the NFL today. Brent Greek and Kenny Stabler, who played with these Saints, and of course was a great Raider player, and well, he's just a great player. They'll have all the scores and highlights, and I'm going to watch to see what the Snake has to say myself. Great quarterback and a great person. You're looking at Wershing. He always does that with the ball, by the way. He always, it's like he's making a snowball.
That's a weight training exercise for him.
It is?
That's what kickers do for weight training exercise. They don't lift the weights. They just crush footballs.
I've always wondered what kickers thought about. Here's, of course, the young man that ran back the kick earlier for some 80-some-odd yards, Mel Gray.
He had a 41-yarder coming into this ball game. This guy might be one of the electrifying returners this year.
He electrified us because I think I had Reuben Mays running the back. He scared me. The direct shot It's recovered by New Orleans at the 47-yard line. That's it. That's the end of the first half. San Francisco 13, New Orleans 10. This man has the worried look. Of course, he did when they went 15-1. That's the same look. Classy gentleman that's been in pro coaching since 1966. Werjing's kickoff. Mel Gray, you know what he did the last time at the goal line. Gray comes out. On his feet.
I don't think they'll catch him.
Being chased by Torrey.
Torrey Nixon almost got him, but he doesn't have that kind of speed.
There are no flags. 101 yards in one shot.
Tom, there were only 8 kickoff returns for a touchdown last year and 1,732 returns. Right, this is the second kickoff return for the '86 season.
Let me tell you the craziest stat. I just happened to look this up this morning. That's the 3rd run back for a kickoff in the whole history of the New Orleans Saints. From 67 till now, that's number 3.
He hit that crack. You could see it develop right up here in the mouth. You know, boom, and then off he goes.
He looks like a gold medalist. He looks like he's anchoring the 400 meters. What speed by Mel Gray. No relationship to the fast receiver that used to be with the Cardinals, but he runs like him. Morton Anderson now will come out and tack on the extra point. The kicker, Hansen, had forgot to come out. He was so excited, probably congratulating Mel Gray. He forgot to come out and make the hold.
He was over there rooting. I wonder which language he was using. He speaks in 6 different languages, that guy.
I bet you we could have understood what he was saying. Anderson approaches it. It's good. And the crowd is very, very quiet. Thanks to Mel Gray.
You'll be able to take a look at this as it develops. Mel Gray takes, it was a low kick. It didn't hang in the air very long. He's looking at what he sees coming front. He picks up a block right there. He gets another block right there. Number 15, there's number 32 working inside out on him. He breaks back. Now you can see the foot race develop right there. Tom Rathman, number 44, chasing him. That's a mismatch. You're going to see Torrey Nixon, number 20, appear to the right, back side of your screen. He's struggling to get there. He can't make it. Touchdown.
John Gilliam held the record at 94 yards. That was that 67 one that was run back. This is, of course, the New Orleans Saints' longest kickoff return ever. And we don't have to say it was for a touchdown because he just ran out of real estate.
Well, it was a low kick. It didn't hang in the air very long, and the coverage didn't cover it well. He got one key block, hit the crack. People overran their lanes, overran the football. Boom. Then he's into the open.
And it was funny, in 1977, the second return of a kickoff for a touchdown was by Clarence Chapman, 92 yards. Guess where it was? In San Francisco.
Was it really?
He didn't lose his heart. He found a kickoff return. And Mora said this might happen. He told us yesterday, he said this kid's one of the fastest guys with the football he's ever seen.
He said he can really run the kicks, and he said, I'm going to use him in the punt returns. But he chickened out there. He hasn't used him in the punt returns because he said the kid has never fielded a punt in a ball game, high school, college, or pro, but I'm going to use him. We haven't seen him yet.
Watch this kickoff by Anderson. He's a 210-pounder, by the way. He is a good athlete, Morton is. This is a sort of a scored one, kicked out of bounds. And that's where the 49ers will take over on the 7-yard line. Monroe just had it bounce off of it.
Anderson picked to Monroe. Ball goes out of bounds with Monroe in the 7. First down.
Here it is right here. He muffs it out of bounds right there. He touched the football. Monroe was in the heart of that kickoff coverage, number 32, that couldn't get in there to make the play. Maybe still thinking about that one, huh?
Yeah, now Kemp will have a long way to take the team to either get 3 or 7. And, of course, now they trail for the first time. New ball game.
Bill likes to throw coming out of this area in the field. He really does.
Okay, we'll look for it. Kemp has gone all the way. Francis is into the slot in motion. You're right. Play action pass. Drops it off to Craig.
Look at him pull through those tackles.
The 15-yard line.
Little backfield action, fullback right in the middle of the formation. You're going to see the quarterback reverse pivot, make a fake, freeze the linebackers. Now the fullback out in the flat. He lays it up over the top. Jackson, 57, almost knocks it down. He comes up there right there. 49, Watlett makes the tackle. Look at him almost pull out of that tackle. Great strength in those legs.
And I love the way Craig always covers that ball up, sometimes with both arms to make sure he ends up with it. 2nd down and 2. Everybody shocked. A lot of inhaling in the stadium of over 61,000. Straight ahead goes Craig. Close to a 1st down. We'll see.
Tom Rathman, the fullback, was in there now. The rookie went in motion and went in and nailed the nose guard. But Glenn Red, number 58, stepped up in there and did a nice job of stuffing that running play.
It is a 1st down. Craig is in there now. Derek Harmon comes in. Again, as we told you earlier, Joe Cribbs is not playing. He has a calf muscle and a hip pointer. He is the explosive one they've been looking for, but Harmon's in there in his place. 1st down. Almost fumbled by Harmon. Smothered at the 20.
Great chase by Ricky Jackson, number 57, coming all the way from across the field. Then they turned him up, forcing him from the other side, and Jackson makes the play from the backside. Good speed, good maneuverability.
Let's look at some of the yardage here. New Orleans with 87 yards rushing. San Francisco, a team that wanted to run it for 200 yards, has 37. Wow. 2nd down and 8. A pickup of 2 by Harmon. That is a tremendous offensive line, but you can't start rushing it overnight. Not in this league. Clark has it at the 31-yard line. A tough tackle put on him by Waymer.
He's limping a little bit. Had that leg caught underneath, and look at him chest it out.
He's a tall target. You got a lot of body to go to on him.
Yeah, he does. He likes this Kemp, too. He says he throws a direct shot, and it's a hard pass. I mean, it's really humming. You've got to hang on to it. Look at that shot. Straight down the middle. Clark to the right side of your screen. He catches the ball. Now you can see he has his leg planted right there. Waymer, number 44, comes in and makes a play, and he catches that right foot underneath.
The 6th catch for Clark for 81 yards. Boy, he goes down and drives right onto those secondary people. He's tough. Play action pass. Kemp going for Rice. Has him at the 45. Boy, what a catch. Good set of hands there.
That play action stuff is a lot easier for the quarterback because he can freeze linebackers. He doesn't have to read them as they drop downfield. He knows that they're going to have to acknowledge the run. Now watch the linebackers rather than the quarterback. See them sit on the line of scrimmage, acknowledging run. Now the ball's thrown in behind him. Good execution. Frank Watlett, number 49, comes over and makes the play on Jerry Rice.
Rice came in averaging over 19 yards of reception. He had 15 then. He's got 4 catches for 66. Quite an athlete, this fellow. 1st and 10. Drive. Craig gets away from a couple of tacklers into New Orleans territory and pulls people to the 42-yard line. What a run.
Does this guy like to run with the football? Just a fullback slant play in the middle of your screen. Quarterback a reverse pivot, hand it off to him. There he is. Now watch him pull through tackles. Watch his leg action, fans. He likes to pull. Watch him get those legs up, knees up high, churning. This is how you teach high school kids to run. Look at this guy. Good power.
And after sort of a quiet first half, he only had 15 yards receiving and 6 yards rushing in the first half, and he wants some numbers.
He wants to get going.
Inside handoff. This is Harmon. Rathman, the young rookie from Nebraska, is in the game now to give Craig a little bit of a breather. The Niners are a deep team.
Rathman played behind Craig in college 1 year. He can't get away from him, can he?
Try to figure out how long Rathman went to Nebraska, and he must have been there for about 12 years.
That's a pretty good pro team. See the score yesterday?
I'm not going to touch that one either. 2nd down and 10. Harmon now has 17 yards on 8 carries. It's been tough to run against the Saints. The wind appears to be right into Kemp's face. He's throwing it. Sidearm and closely covered. Intended for Francis. Good coverage by Gibson. Antonio Gibson was in great position, and I don't believe he was holding on.
Antonio Gibson played for the Stars, number 27, working inside out to the left side of your screen on the ball. It looked like he was on his back a little bit early, but he's doing a good job of reaching around. No penalty.
Gibson's a 214-pounder. I always thought he played well, even when he was in that other league that had names like Rollerball.
They called him the Hitman in San Jose. I mean, not San Jose, excuse me, in Philadelphia. They called him the Hitman.
Kemp is 20 of 30 for 227 yards. 3rd down and 10. Good defense. A dump pass. Craig is maybe a fumble. They're going to call it incomplete. He was separated at the 40-yard line by Watlett's tackle.
Frank Watlet, the safety, number 49, is going to hit this little check down pass coming right over the middle of the screen. Now watch him attack. He saw that coming all the way, and he really unloaded on a good running back.
What a great defensive series for the Saints when they really had to have it. Back to Hunter's Reniger.
He's good at this, Tom.
Oh, he can get it out inside your 20. He had, what did you say, 30 last year out inside the 20. This is a preacher. Fair caught and called for at the 14 by Eric Martin. We may have a contest. New Orleans 17, San Francisco 13. Jim Mora, first year as a New Orleans coach. You've known him a long time, Dick.
First met him in 1967 when Bill Walsh left the Stanford staff.
Look at this 57 shot.
Oh, I didn't know him all the way back there. That's him on the right, right?
That's Jeff's father, Jack Kemp.
Yeah.
Wonder what prison they got those haircuts in. Oh, we all wore the crew cut in those days.
But Walsh left the Stanford to go with the Raiders, and Kemp joined our staff at Stanford. Not Kemp, excuse me. Jeez.
You mean Mora?
Mora.
Jimmy Mora's got his team in front now. And they've got the football. Good defensive play. Buford Jordan was pulled down by Charles Haley. He's going to become a very popular player, not with the opposition.
He has that great quickness and the ability to turn it loose and fly to the football. James Madison, number 4 pick.
230 some odd pounds. You're not supposed to be big enough, huh? Boy, if you want to play hard enough and you're hungry enough, you can lay the leather on. He sure does. 2nd down 9. Wilson is 5 of 10 for 74. Hebert has a broken foot on the 2nd series. Handoff to Hilliard. 49ers are beginning to buckle on the helmet now, and things begin to tighten up. Turner and Ricky Ellison there. 6-0 score. Raiders and Giants have been there a long time like that.
They have been. Oh, Washington's coming back.
The San Francisco 49ers only have 2 games all season on AstroTurf. Everybody they play, and of course here, have natural grass, and that's a big advantage injury-wise before you're through with this. 3rd down and 6. Dave Wilson, straight drop back, and both backs are out. And almost intercepted by Ronnie Lott. And if Ronnie Lott had held on to that one, that could have been a touchdown. And Wilson knows it.
Dalton Hilliard did a good job of working underneath Lott, but it was almost like setting the trap. He got underneath Lott, then Lott attacked the football, and as you said, almost picked it off.
Hansen back to punt. Boy, the Saints kicking game is sensational. Anderson and Hansen. Griffin is back, the rookie for the 49ers. He'll take the ball perhaps just outside of San Francisco territory. Here's Hansen's kick. This is just a good, it's a good carrying kick though. Griffin at the 43. The rookie gets just over midfield. A flag is down. Officials have been pretty quiet during that 2nd period. First quarter looked like flag day.
Number 57, ineligible downfield on the kicking team. Penalties declined. 1st down. Timeout.
New Orleans 17, San Francisco 13. Tom Brookshire with Dick Vermiel in the sunny ballpark, Candlestick Park. Not much wind, maybe 10 or 12, 15 miles an hour. Good game. 101-yard kickoff return by rookie Mel Gray. highlighted this third quarter so far. It's 17-13, and this is a big offensive series for the 49ers if they're going to take control of the ball game. Just into New Orleans territory. 1st and 10. Kemp. Miss Clark. 1 interceptions, all Kemp's had.
I think he threw that before the pattern really developed. There was a corner pattern going on behind the delay pattern, and little Derek Harmon was working deep, and he just unloaded it quickly.
Kemp is listed at 6 foot 201 pounds, and I would say he's closer to 5'11", 190 or so from Dartmouth. But he's not playing Brown today. He's got the Saints. 20 of 32. You saw those numbers.
Audible, Tom. I think he just changed the play in the line of scrimmage.
2nd down 10, and in and out of Jerry Rice's hands, closely covered by Dave Wayman. Boy, the secondary, we told you earlier, it's a good secondary. There's a flag down, but they do get on you trying to run a deep sideline. Illegal procedure against San Francisco.
Illegal formation, offense, left tackle, lined up off the line. Penalty is declined.
The 8th season for Bill Walsh. Did you find him relaxed this time when we were visiting with him and talking with him?
I found him relaxed and confident they're going to be a good football team. Confident they can play without Montana. He just thinks that everyone's going to have to rally around him, and he really is optimistic about having Montana back in the future. Maybe even to the end of this season.
3rd down and 10. Kemp has missed his last 4 passes. He's blitzing the outside, gets it off, complete to Rice. Closely covered by Waymer.
Here's Rice running a nice pattern to the left side of your screen. He's going to work down. Look at the good forward body tilt. He pushes it deep forward, shoulders there, and he pops, comes back. David Waymer driving on the ball throwing exactly where it had to be thrown. Nice job by Kemp. Now watch Kemp take this shot right there. He got rid of the ball, fortunately, before he had to take that hit.
Number 20 came from the outside on the blitz.
That's Russell Gary.
Yeah. Craig trying to go up the middle. Stacked up after a couple of yards.
Tony Elliott's doing a good job in there at that nose guard, playing off the ball, which is a little bit unusual in the NFL. You don't see the guy back off the ball that often, Tom, but he's sitting in there and he's holding his ground against Fred Quillen. And
I asked Mora about that yesterday. Remember, and Mora said, well, he found out that he got tangled up. If he got too close, he couldn't slide over and make some of those plays on the side.
Well,
do what you have to do, huh?
Yeah, street sense, back him up.
That is a tremendous offensive line for the 49ers, and I'll tell you, New Orleans has battled them pillar to post. It's 2nd down and 7. The misdirection reversed to Jerry Rice, the end around, and Rice is forced out of bounds around the 11-yard line. Johnny Poe barely got him out of bounds.
Now you're going to watch in the backfield. The quarterback fakes one up inside, fakes it again. Here he comes across the formation. Now watch Haynes, number 92, moving inside out on the play. Good play by the linebacker, but he runs right out of it. That's the advantage of being a big, strong wide receiver. Johnny Poe knocks him out.
A 15-yard end-around play by number 80. Remember, it used to be Freddie Solomon. This man can play. A number 1 choice. Good one. 1st down carry, Craig. Boy, maybe a yard and a half or 2. Saints got right after him. Haynes, the first Saint there. New Orleans, to me, seems to have a different look than I've ever seen them have, Dick, in that they don't look like they're waiting for something bad to happen to them. You know what I mean? They seem to be playing every play like we're in this thing.
Yeah, they are. They're playing with confidence. Tony Elliott, the nose guard, is limping off the field right now.
Well, as a new coach, is that your biggest thing, is to change the attitude, a losing attitude? Is that the biggest thing?
Oh, you've got to. And that, you know, they've never experienced the winning season down there. Here with Elliott going off the field, I think they'll have to move Frank Warren, who normally is a defensive end, in and play on the nose, and that's not going to help him.
Looks like Elliott isn't badly hurt, though. I bet you we see him back in the next time after he gets his wind back. 2nd down call, 2nd down and 8. Frank Warren is in there. He's off the ball about a yard, 2. Craig to the left. Hit behind the line and somehow gets to the 10-yard line.
Russ Francis did a real nice job of blocking on the linebacker that time. He just owned him, and he had a chance, but the pursuit from the inside out made the play. Here's Russ Francis on the left side of your screen, up in the corner right there. Now we'll follow his block on the linebacker. I can't tell you who he is right now. See him blocking there, does a nice job. Now the inside linebacker, 54, comes in there and makes a real nice play, working inside out. Alvin Tolles. He was blocking James Haynes, number 92 at that time.
Boy, Francis stayed right in there.
Yeah.
He's big and talented. And he's playing extremely well. 3rd down and 6. Kemp. Craig has it. Craig is tackled at the 5-yard line. It's going to be awfully close to a 1st down, but let's wait for the measurement. Waymer tackled him. Large play indeed, this 3rd down pass play to Craig. They're going to bring him in. You be the judge, you people at home. They didn't even move the ball over there because this is a crucial one.
1st down.
By the length of a ball. Jeff Kemp looking for the signal from the sidelines. Who's giving him that signal over there? Is Bill Walsh personally doing it?
No, I don't think so. Normally they use the 2nd quarterback, Mike Morawski.
He's right there, number 15.
Number 15.
Might depend on which hand he's holding the helmet in. There are a lot of crazy ways to signal. 1st down, 1st and goal from the 5. Harmon inside. Touchdown. Harmon's 1st touchdown of the year.
Just a good old sweep play. 51, Randy Cross coming out there, almost stumbles, gets on David Waymer, 44. He opens up the lane to the inside. He gets good forward body tilt. He gets tackled, but he gets the ball in the end zone.
Last start for Harmon was an 85 against Denver early in the year. He is very versatile, and he's keeping that football. That goes on the mantle. Wershing kicking the extra point. It is. And San Francisco is. Crowd loves it. 20-17 San Francisco.
Allen was taken away. Now look at him put that ball out there. Tuck it underneath. That's not a loaf of bread. That's it. And he gives the 1st down. Safe on 2nd base right there.
That's not a loaf of bread.
We'll miss you, Joe, but
Kemp can go.
Kemp can do, huh?
Montana might have been the most graceful guy in the pocket I've ever seen. He could go from 1st receiver, 2nd receiver, 3rd receiver, and 4th receiver faster than any QB I ever watched. 1st and 10. Crowd getting into a little half roll right by Kemp. Rice, 1st down.
You know something, in watching the 49er offense work the last series and this series, it almost looks like a different offensive team from the 1st half. All of a sudden now they got, they plugged in all the spark plug wires and they're all running.
Well, I thought Kemp looked a little tired the other day at practice, That's the end of the 3rd quarter. The score is 20-17, San Francisco by 3. We now pause for a word from your local station. 4th quarter action, handoff.
Ooh.
Derek Harmon. Ooh, hit hard.
He got clothesline.
Gathers was there, number 97. A fast quarter of football, the 3rd. A tremendous 101-yard kickoff return by Mel Gray set the tone, and he just seemed to fly by. But this young Saint defense under Jim Mora and staff are playing the 49ers at least even. 2nd down, 9. Kemp, long time with pro set backs. 2nd receiver, Francis has it at the 46-yard line. Kemp looked around that time and finally found a tight end.
You know, in talking with Kemp in the locker room, he says, Coach, I really like the style of this offense because there's so much definition for the quarterback. I'm no longer left out there to dry in regard to where do I go with the football. Everything is programmed, 1, 2, 3, and you're not reading the whole field. You're attacking an area, and you have a progression in that area. And he said, I really feel confident I can execute it.
He's doing it. He's getting a little smoother now. He has to get the play call, the formation call, and he's a good leader. Make no mistake about that. 1st and 10. Slots to the bottom of the screen. That's Rice in the slot. Kemp's going for Rice. In and out. Closely covered by Johnny Poe. Well thrown, no flags on the field, and that's what pro football is all about.
That was close. You can see he can air that out, Tom. He's working down in between Poe, number 25, and Russell Gary, number 20. And the ball looks like it's right on the money. Oh, boy, that was a nice throw. I don't see any pass interference. Looked like he probably should have caught it.
That's a great play both ways. A 60-yard pass in the air by the young man. They say has a good deep arm, Kemp, to number 80, who can go deep in a hurry. Kemp is 24 of 38. 2nd down 10. Crossing pattern.
See
That's
that?
Wilson with it. Just short of the 40-yard line.
See what they do, Tom? They load up on that one side of the field and bring a guy across from the other side, stop him right there in a little spot, boom, get the 5, 6-yard, 8-yard gain, and go on. And it really enhances the ability of the quarterback to look good. He's going to throw a higher percentage completion ratio. Every quarterback that Bill Walsh has ever coached has been successful.
Well, he's coached a bunch of them, huh?
Either winning, leading divisions, taking to championships, NCAA records. And it's all, I think, due to this progression and the discipline within the pass offense. Then you add a Montana's talent, then you got a superstar.
A Super Bowls, which they've had 2, and they won them. 3rd down and 2. Good look by Kemp that time. Quick drop. Wilson again. The former Dallas Cowboy has it. What looks like a 1st down from up here. Russell Gary was trailing the play. But everybody on the 49er team, when it's going right, they all fit, you know?
It seems like it, doesn't it?
People come in, do their thing. They don't seem to be envious of playing time of others, etc. I like what Walsh said about the problem with Montana being gone. He said, Joe's a real man. He'll deal with it as men do. Our team will deal with it better than the public and the press will. Yeah. End of quote by Walsh. Which is probably the truth. The numbers on young Jeff Kemp. Misdirection inside by Harmon. 49ers look like they're picking up the tempo just a little bit now on the line of scrimmage.
They look smoother. They're executing better everything they do. Run and pass. Receivers and everything. Everybody sort of, I think, has cleaned up their act a little bit. Now, they might be wearing down the Saints. I don't know. But it isn't that hot out there.
Almost 6 yards to go. It'll be 2nd down and call it a long 5 or a 6. Wow, San Diego, Washington. It's only the 3rd week of the season. 2nd down. Harmon. Good block. Harmon breaks inside the 20-yard line to the 16. Good execution on the wide play.
The left guard, number 68, John Ayers, pulls out. Now see him right in the center of your screen. There he comes, number 68 to the right of your screen, working upfield. Now watch the nice block he gets right here. Boom, gets a nice block right there. Allows Harmon, number 24, to get on upfield and make the 1st down.
Ayers from West Texas State and a 270-pounder. Good execution. 42 yards for Derek Harmon now on 12 carries.
I asked Derek Harmon about his brothers. You know, all those guys were good football players. His young brother was just a #1 pick for Buffalo in '86. I asked him why his brothers didn't go to Cornell with him. He said, Coach, they weren't as good a student.
Well, you know, young people should remember that. Hit the books, then hit the practice field. Tony Cherry, the rookie, is in with Roger Craig. Craig, misdirection, gets stopped before he can get to the 15-yard line. Good defensive play by Haynes.
Here's Mr. Haynes. He's played well. We've called his name a number of times today. He was on IR for a few weeks in '84 with a rotator cuff injury, but he's healthy today.
He's also from Rice's school, Mississippi Valley.
Yeah.
He must have some program going. 2nd down and 9. Craig has 37 yards now. He and Harmon are in there. This is the shotgun. It's Rice changing into the slot. Oh, Rice is going for the corner. Watlett was there. Let's see if Rice was looking right back into the sun or not.
Corner pattern. Bill likes to throw these into the end zone area inside that 20. Here he is. He's looking back in there. Now Watlett gets the ball and deflects it right there, but I don't think he really knew he was deflecting it. Take another look. Here it is. Rice reaching back for the ball. Yep, he does deflect it with his left hand. Nice job by Frank Watlett, the pre-dental major, academic all Big 8. Bright guy, too.
Oh, I hope he's recording this so he can look at that play, because, as you say, the DBs don't even know when they're doing it so well like that. What a play. The secondary has played very well for New Orleans. 3rd down and 9. Kemp on a semi-roll right, got to run with it. To the 10. Short of the 1st down. Got a 3-point game. You would probably put another 3 on. You see if Wershing comes on. Here comes Mo. He just keeps looking down, doesn't he? He just ropes around like Stevie Wonder looking for somebody, and he just kicks it.
He doesn't look up. A local real estate firm donates $100 every field goal he makes for charity.
A 28-yard attempt. Morosky, the backup quarterback, is holding. Hello there. $100 for charity, and Mo breathes again. 23. What we thought was an incomplete pass, called a fumble, recovered by the 49ers, and he received a broken right foot when he was sort of caught under the rush, and he came back out rather than dressing out and to watch the game, and his counterpart is on the phone. Number 9, Jeff Kemp. He's running the 49ers and doing a pretty good job of it. But remember, it's still only a touchdown away. It's 6 points. Wershing's kickoff. He's no longer kicking them deep now. He's keeping it on the ground. Reuben Mays, the rookie. Reuben Mays gets out over the 30. Almost breaks it, gets to the 37-yard line. Carl Monroe tackling him.
49ers defensive coverage, the kickoff team, Tom, they're getting shoulder to shoulder, and there's no lanes between them, and therefore they're defensing a very tight area on the field, and if you get on either side of that tight area they're defensing, you've got a return. Let's see if we can see this. Now, we're Reuben Mays, number 36, working upfield. 33-yard return. Now, he's dumping it off on the kicker right there. You saw that big hole. The reason the big hole was there is all the coverage people were over in one area.
The Saints quarterbacks have been sacked twice. Wilson has taken over, Dave Wilson, and has been very steady. Not spectacular, but very steady. Straight drop back. He's getting hit drop back. There's a sack on it at the 30-yard line by Keena Turner. And Wilson was hit hard.
Keena Turner would come in from the right side of the screen, number 58. Must have been a protection mental breakdown, not a physical breakdown, because no one even bothered to block him. I really think the protection broke down. It should have been sliding left, either Brad Edelman, number 63, or the tackle sliding out, Dombrowski to pick him up, and Edelman taking his man. They did not do that, Tom. Turned him loose.
Dombrowski, the big rookie, might not have done it, but we said earlier, we watched their tapes, and they're a very intelligent and a smooth blocking offensive line. 2nd down and 18, a loss of 8. Hebert being chased out, and he was to. The flag is down on the run, and it's incomplete, out of bounds. Might be holding back there. It was intended for Goodlow.
I really think so. I think Dennis Harrison, Bigfoot, had beaten Stan Brock, I think, number 67, inside, and I think he just sort of held on to him.
Bigfoot that Dick Vermiel is talking about. He used to play for Dick Vermiel on the Eagles team.
Number 72, offense, still 2nd down.
Dombrowski, the rookie.
72. That was on the other side. They had holding on both sides.
The one thing about it, if Dombrowski grabs you, you're had.
Look at the size of that. Where's the beef? There it is. 298 pounds and almost a straight A student. A lot of money, a lot of size.
He's from Virginia. He's from the whole state of Virginia. Second down and 28.
And he can really run.
Good feet. Good protection. And a bad throw intended for Eric Martin. And Wilson's mad at himself. He flat didn't cut it loose that time. He guided it.
I think he almost tried to pull that one back after he threw it. Look at Jim.
Gosh, he looks pretty relaxed for a head coach in this league.
That's his demeanor. He has great ability to control himself that way.
You mean inside it might be?
Yeah, he might slam the door and go inside and shoot some rear ends from time to time when it's needed to be done, but he won't do it, I think, in this atmosphere.
As a head coach, though, you need a good dog and a nice home life, don't you?
You bet.
Because your dog he's always happy to see you.
Mine did.
Third down and 28 to go. Saints in a little trouble here. Catch at the 30-yard line by Eric Martin, and Torrey Nixon was all over it. Good catch by Martin.
Good defense by Nixon.
And Hansen, the punter, comes out. The crowd giving the red defense a cheer.
That defense is tough to score on, especially with the run. But, you know,
the numbers on Hansen, a 46.5-yard average on 4. Almost got to it that time. The 49er came close. Griffin at the 35. Good coverage, and he's halted at the 38-yard line. Flags are down. Might have been downfield too soon. Del Rio made the tackle. If you release before that punter makes contact, they'll get you.
Eligible downfield, number 44, penalty is declined, first down.
Dave Waymer was down just a little bit early. 23-17 San Francisco. Minutes, a lot can happen. 7 minutes. Coach certainly knows that. Bill Walsh. Kemp, by the way, has 283 yards, the most ever from high school, college, and pro he's ever had. This is Craig going to the outside, bouncing out. Not much. Saints reacting on defense as Tolles makes the stop.
You know something, Kemp had his best game ever last week, and he's going to have his best game ever this week, and 4 weeks down the road he's going to have his best game ever.
Main thing is those interceptions, isn't it? They're worth, what, 5.5 points? And he's only had 1 today.
That's right. But,
he looks like he's in charge now. Second down 11. A loss of 1 on that last play by Roger Craig. He's had a tough time running the ball today. Harmon. Not much. Let's go to New York City and an NFL update. Brent?
Well, Brookie, I know there are a lot of Raider fans who watch the San Francisco 49ers. Let me tell you, folks, the Raiders did a lot better playing out of Oakland. Watch this. Haynes can't hold on. Second touchdown pass, Sims to Manuel, and the Giants lead 14-6. Let's go back to Brookie and Dick Vermiel.
Boy, Brent, the Giants have probably a lot more offense, really, than people think. They always talk about the defense. They're a pretty good offensive club, too, when Sims is healthy, huh?
plus, you know, they know they don't have to score a lot of points to win the football game. The defense always keeps it there, and I think sometimes that influences your signal calling in the second half.
A 6-point margin. A touchdown on an extra point, obviously, is what you're thinking about. Walsh talking with Morosky. That's number 15 there. Jeff Kemp is the man. Don't forget, all starts next Sunday on CBS. The NFL today. These San Francisco 49ers go against the Miami Dolphins. Wow. Who just lost by a touchdown in overtime to the Jets today. That'll start at 9:30.
That'll be a real test for the defense. The approach will probably be to keep the offense on the field as long as you can. Ball control Miami. Miami's defense is not that, you know, that real sound.
And of course, New Orleans will go against the New York Giants.
doesn't get any easier for them.
I tell you, they're not an easy teams or games anymore. Jim Mora, first big trip with his team to San Francisco. A lot of USFL players, and of course when the league decided not to play, they were available. But look at this. Starters are Hebert, who's now injured with that broken foot. Williams, Mel Gray, my gosh, he's already stunned us. And of course Jordan, the fine fullback.
Some good reserves there. Mills has been playing, number 51 from the Philadelphia Stars, Baltimore Stars. He's been playing a lot, really. He's probably a starter by the end of this ball game.
There's young Bobby Hebert. Second series, broken foot. He stays out on the field, though. He's not going to miss any of this. 3rd down and 10 facing Kemp. Ball is on the 38-yard line. Backs are out. Kemp going over the top. Flags are down. Clark has it.
He audible to that.
42-yard line. The flag is back on the San Francisco 40. The play will go.
Offside. 97 defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
Gathers was offside. Must have lined up offside. Look at his dejection. He is dejected. Upset.
A 19-yard reception. Well, when you're an eager young team, you know, you don't want to be back a half a count either.
He threw that ball nicely, right on the money. Good timing. I don't know what his percentage has been from the second quarter on, but it's been outstanding.
Clark with 100 yards on 7 catches. Kemp beginning up, being sacked at the midfield stripe. Gibson, Antonio Gibson, firing the first sack for the Saints. Good time to come.
Antonio Gibson played for Coach Mora at the Stars and was one of the better players in the USFL, and he thinks, coming off the injury right now, that he is now healthy and he will work his way into a starting position and be one of the better players in the NFL at the strong safety position.
How about what Jim Mora told us about the training camp, that it was so hot down in Louisiana. They were down in at that small school down in Louisiana, and they said that the humidity and all drove them into the Superdome a few times just for workouts so the players could live.
Really tough. He said you can't work a football team down there like you normally work a football team because of the humidity and the heat.
Well, they look good. They're in pretty good shape. Kemp is 27 of 42 on 2nd down and 17. Dumps it out to Harmon. Harmon to the 45-yard line of New Orleans. The clock now, of course, being watched constantly by Bill Walsh and his staff.
You know, so many people would run the ball in this situation with minutes to go in the ball game and the lead. They'd run the ball more and eat up the clock. But Bill's doing that same type of thing with the passing game.
Ball control with the passing game. That's what the Montana team, of the great team that scored 475 points, that 84 team, they did ball control with the passing game.
They did.
A little bit of running. It's about evenly balanced, pretty close in those days.
Yeah. Bill likes to run. He likes to run the football and keep a balanced attack.
Saints wouldn't let him today. 3rd down and 12. Receiver is Jerry Rice inside the New Orleans 20. The quarterback made a good play.
Yes, right. I was just going to say that. Rice made the nice catch, but the quarterback waited for that pattern to develop. Rice right there in the middle of your screen. Now he's going to come around behind on a square end. Avoids another defender right there. Watlett's right there, going to chase him. He's going to get him. Yeah, he's going to pull him down. Give me some help. Frank Watlett doing a nice job of playing safety.
Jerry Rice with 7 receptions for 120 yards. He's going to set some records.
What the people didn't see, though, was how cool Kemp was under pressure. He was back there deep, got a little pressure, stepped forward, waited for it to develop, and then hit the strike.
Like good Napa Valley wine, you just wait a little while, right?
That's right.
The sweep by Craig. He falls down at the 20-yard line. Jim Wilkes made sure. Well, Craig has had a tough time. The Saints have been with him every step today.
Well, he's a marked man in this league. He's a record setter. Every week the team gets ready to play Roger Craig. We'll stop that guy. You know, that's the thinking of a defense.
Can catch it, can rush it. Today he's had 17 carries to get 37 yards. That's painful. Second down and 9. Quick trap draw inside. Craig gets, gosh, he may have lost. Looked like the Saints got him and he took the handoff.
Bruce Clark did a real nice job of coming down the line of scrimmage, the defensive left end, number 75, and closed that off from the inside out. Really tough to run a draw when you're cutting in there and it collapses outside in like Clark did on that play.
2:45. The clock is moving now. There's Bruce Clark, formerly a #1 draft pick for the Green Bay Packers, and he simply did not want to go to the North Woods. He went to Canada, but he ends up playing very well with New Orleans. Third down and 10. Saints have got to get the football now. Handoff. Craig. Play. Look out. They got outside. Craig inside the 15. Ridden out of bounds by Maxey.
That's the old Green Bay Vince Lombardi weak side sweep. Not many people run that play anymore. They use the halfback to block the defensive end. We called that bin blocking in the old days.
Bin blocking?
Bin blocking.
Okay.
Now see both linemen pulling out there. 51, Randy Cross looking for a man to clean up. Ayers, number 68. Randy gets a nice block, which he always does a good job of blocking in the field. The defensive back comes right up and makes the play.
Cross played for you at UCLA, didn't he?
Yes, he did a great job of pulling within the offensive scheme that we ran. Just an exceptional job. And that's really why I think he's been an all-pro.
On 4th down and 4, Wershing will try a 32-yard field goal. The lead for San Francisco is 6, and now it is 9. Mole has struck again. And the offense ate up a lot of clock.
Yeah, they didn't. You know, and here they do it throwing the ball. You're going to have to concede that the New Orleans football team in mid-season is going to be tough to play wherever they play. Whether it be in the dome or whether it be on the road, they're going to be tough, Tom.
And obviously the 9 points means that it's a touchdown and a field goal. You got to come up with 10 points somehow. That's what the coach has to settle, and the buck does stop there.
Yes, it does. Now they have the kind of receivers that can get deep. Martin proved that last week. Goodlow can get deep. It'll be a little bit tough maybe on the 49er defense.
Wershing is 4 for 4 today. 30, the 40, the 28, the 32. That's the distances.
If I were him, I'd tell that coverage to spread out a little bit, guys, and don't all get defense in the one area of the field. And it'll make me make the tackle.
He's been trying to kick the upper half of the ball, but somehow they get a hold of it.
I don't think they'll kick it off. I think they'll keep it on the ground and roll it down there some way.
There's the record breaker, Mel Gray. He went 101 with it. He's going to be the toast of New Orleans, of Bourbon Street, of the whole section down there.
You just don't see many kickoff returns for touchdowns in the National Football League, and there he is in the 3rd game of the season, and his short career, he's putting one down.
He'll probably be the player of the week, and everybody will be looking for him from now on.
I guarantee you they'll cover kickoffs better.
Here is the squibble kick by Wershing. Ruben Mays lets it go, and they're going to touch it down. Just there it is, and the ball will come out to the 20 after the touchback. Wershing comes off. No, the 49ers called a team meeting the other afternoon. We were over at practice, and they had to come in and they said, Mo, are you coming into the meeting or not? You know how the kickers are, and he ran in there at the last minute to make sure he was
be present and accounted for.
Yeah. A team meeting called by the players, and young Kemp was not there. They called it just to sort of solidify everybody else and say, look, Montana, our guy, is not going to be here. Let's take the quarterback, number 9, and get this thing going.
Well, they have the ability to do that. And I have such great confidence in Walsh as a quarterback coach. You know, he just never coached a quarterback that wasn't successful. Unbalanced line, Tom.
Unbalanced line for New Orleans. The drive series, they break the player out, Ruben Mays, who cuts back against the Gray, and Ronnie Lott has him at the 48-yard line. A lot of fabric in that tackle. Good run by Ruben Mays. 26-17, San Francisco.
Rookie.
Okay, Brent, thank you. We've got the 2-minute warning here. Don't forget, it's a pretty tough road trip for New Orleans. They go from San Francisco to the New York Giants to the Meadowlands. That's not an easy one next week. And these 49ers go
goes
for
to Miami. That's going to be a real test for the defensive secondary, the way that Marino's been putting it up.
Boy, how many times has he thrown? As often as possible is the answer. 1st and 10. The Saints. Wilson is the quarterback. Dave gets it out in the flat. It is finally handled by Eric Martin, and out of bounds to stop the clock.
He had that thing juggling around there. I think he was trying to look at the ball and who was going to come and hit him at the same time. That's tough to do.
Second half was an explosion of a 101-yard run back for the Saints. See, Wilson now is in the huddle. Hebert was hurt in that first quarter. Second series with got a broken foot. Wilson came off and appears to be ready to take over and has done an admirable job, I think, against a pretty tough defense.
I've seen him play well. I've seen him beat the New York Giants.
Good blocking. Time and misses. Eric Martin across the top. He thought Keena Turner had grabbed a hold of him. Obviously, the linebacker had not touched him.
Keena Turner. You know what his daughter's name is? Sheena.
Is that right? He's had a couple of nicks this year. He's quite a fast linebacker.
Yes, he is. A good linebacker, too. He can make the big play. You know, he's also the linebacker that can play on the nickel downs and those kind of things rather than just on the first down, second down run play.
The Saints only have 77 yards of total offense in this second half. San Francisco squeezed it down. Underthrown. Intended for number 83, Kelvin Edwards.
Mr.
Wilson
Stover
had a little heat, didn't he?
Yeah, a little heat. He was in the fire. Jeff Stover, number 72, gave him the heat. Stover came into the game, you know, leading the league in sacks. Here he is. Now watch him step up and try to throw, and wham, he gets lunch right there. Mr. Stover had 4 sacks coming in, tied for the lead.
McVay and them have done that with other people. Michael Carter's the shot putter. Stover was the track man, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He was a shot putter as well as a hammer thrower.
4th down gamble. Short of that first down. Needed 2 yards, and Reuben Mays got drilled right at the line of scrimmage. May have even lost. And the San Francisco players are calling for an ovation. Mora's not so sure. Jeff Stover making another tackle. Timeout. Okay, Jim. We'll take ours here, too. It's 26-17. Minute and a half left. A minute and a half left, and the 49ers certainly will not call a timeout. They do have a couple of left. Tony Cherry is in there.
Timeout.
New Orleans used one of theirs.
You know, if you're going to beat this organization, the San Francisco 49er organization, Tom, you have to beat them from the top up. Walsh told me, he says, Dick, Eddie DeBartolo has become the best owner in the National Football League, and he makes it so easy to present a winning football program.
Don't forget, tonight on 60 Minutes, Imelda Marcos talks to Diane Sawyer about those secret Swiss bank accounts and those not-so-secret shoes. Then it's Barry Bostwick and Patty Duke-Stard in George Washington 2, The Forging of a Nation. Following that, Walter Cronkite at large in his first of 2 primetime specials he'll have for us this season. All tonight on CBS. That Cronkite special is great. It shows him sailing, and he's over in Russia on one trip. And, of course, you and I got the chance to introduce him at that dinner, the NFL dinner at the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
That's here on CBS. 2 timeouts apiece. Kemp will go 5-5, 1-1. It's the same, I guess, 500 for the season. He got credit for the loss at Los Angeles, even though it certainly wasn't his fault. Young Cherry is in the backfield.
He's 5'7". He has good quickness, though.
He's just showed that quickness, Dick. Gets to the 42-yard line of New Orleans. Sam Mills made the tackle.
Look at him. He's just a tiny little guy, but I tell you, he's really put together. He has good legs on him. He's really muscularly built. Just a toss back out of the I formation. He gets it back to him deep. You see John Ayers, 68, pulling out. He gets up inside with Tom Rathman's lead block. Now see that? He's not very big. He doesn't fill the screen anyway.
Not a bad 9th-round draft choice out of Oregon, huh?
Not at all. Bill said he'd like to get ahead in some football game and just let him play to see how well he really does.
The big fella's got to look around low for him. He'll run right under him. Jeff Kemp is 29 of 44. This is the 1st and 10 run by Rathman. Timeout being burned and called for by the Saints. Boy, I am really impressed with the organization, the way the Saints, though, they look like they have some discipline.
Oh,
I don't mean that they didn't have it under Bum Phillips, but I think Jimmy Morris really stresses that.
Jim is a fine leader, and it will be a well-disciplined organization. That's part of his whole career as a coach. I mean, he's an ex-Marine, and I think that starts his kind of thinking. I mean, he believes in those principles of you do what you're told to do, and you do them right, and you do it the best of your ability. And he really believes they're going to win in New Orleans. I mean, you know, we were with him last night, and you visit with him, and he sincerely believes I'm at the right place for Jim Mora at the right time, coaching for the right people with the right organization, and we are going to win. He says it's just a matter of time. I just can't tell you how long it's going to take me. It won't take as long as they've already passed the years they've passed up. I promise you that. They hired the right guy.
I sure did. And Jim thinks it's a good, solid-looking operation. Don't forget, coming up next, the 60 minutes, except on the West Coast. 60 minutes, except on the West Coast. I formation. A little over a minute. This is Cherry. Rookie from Oregon, spins for a couple.
We got papers flying around the whole round down there, just like they have been in our booth.
Antonio Gibson over to make a stop. This is some gorgeous area out here. You and I and our director, John McDonough, took a ride up into the Napa Valley. You can get thirsty going up that road, but we had a lot of fun for a couple of days up there.
Beautiful area. I started my high school coaching right here, just 25 miles here at the Hillsdale High School, and it's just a great area. A lot of friends in this area, and I'll tell you, they love the 49ers in San Francisco more than they've ever loved the 49ers.
How'd they ever get you out of this area? How'd you end up back east and all those other places?
Well, hey, got to make a living.
Timeouts remaining. San Francisco with 2, and you can put those in the bank. They're not going to be used. Jeff Kemp, a man that's on his way to becoming a very fine quarterback. Not that he isn't, but he has to prove that every time he goes out, because the shadow of Montana, of course, is in this stadium right now.
You know, if you wanted to be a successful quarterback, where would you want to go to be taught to be one?
I would come here because how many quarterbacks?
Right. Yeah.
I wonder if we have that shows how many quarterbacks Bill Walsh has worked on over the years and helped and molded and cajoled into things. We'll try to have that for you in just a moment.
And he started out as a defensive coach.
3rd down and 4. Rathman, a Nebraska workhorse, fullback type.
He's a workhorse. He averaged over 6.5 yards a carry in college.
Let's see if we can remember. Walsh started out in Cincinnati. He had
Cook, Red Cook,
and then he had Virgil Carter,
Ken Anderson, Dan Fouts at San Diego, Guy Benjamin at Stanford, Steve Dills at Stanford, Steve DeBerg, 49ers, who set an NFL completion record, and then Montana, better than all of them.
And add the name Jeff Kemp. Look at the numbers for today. 332 yards, 29 completions. And the big one down there is that 1 interception.
Yeah, did a great job. You throw 2 interceptions, you normally lose, but you can get by with a 1.
4th down and 3. And this is going to be a knee-touching job, and the game is history. But it's been a good football game, and New Orleans impressed me. For Dick Vermiel, this is Tom Brookshier saying so long from Candlestick Park in San Francisco. The final score, San Francisco 26, New Orleans 17. In a moment, we'll join Pat Summerall and John Madden at the LA Coliseum for the conclusion of the Giants-Raiders game. First, here's Brent Musburger in New York City.
To joining Pat and John, let's get you up to date with what has transpired in